And if we give ourselves a few minutes of the day, you pick whenever that time is and say, for 5 minutes, I'm going to journal what I'm feeling, or for 5 minutes, I'm going to share with someone in my house what I'm feeling. It gives you permission to get it out of your body instead of constantly trying to suppress it and push it down. Because like a garbage can, when we keep pushing it down, eventually it overflows. So journal, share with your friends, share with your spouse, and ask your kids how they're feeling too. Allow them to share their feelings as well. Humor. Share jokes, laugh, watch funny things on TV, Friends, Cheers, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I don't know, funny programs on TV. And now I'm gonna ask for somebody who has a funny joke to share it. Otherwise you have to hear mine, but I'd like to hear from someone else. So you can unmute yourself and share a joke. Come on. Okay, go for it.
I switched my mezuzah to my refrigerator door because I use it more than my front door.
That's
I heard it.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Okay, I'll share. Yes, and someone? Okay, so 2 men enter a bank wearing masks, and the teller relaxes when he finds out that they were just there to rob him. Funny? Okay. A man was being coached as to his options while he needed to be in quarantine. A, he was told he can be with his wife and his child. B, he answered. Okay. Anyway, I thought that was funny. Okay. But humor is very important during this time. Gratitude. Gratitude, when we express gratitude, we always feel better. Express your gratitude. I was reading in the Times a few, one day goes into the next, so I don't remember when it was, but someone asked a reporter who had lived during wartime to share her feelings of how similar it was during war to Corona, to being where she is now. And she thought the question was ridiculous. She said, this is not war. We're in our homes. We have running water. We have heat. We have food. We're able to connect with our loved ones. So being able to feel gratitude for where we are and what we have, even in this tense moment, helps to give us perspective and makes us feel better. I was speaking to someone today and I said, while this is going to be the first, the very first Seder of my life that I could remember just being together with one person, this time my husband. I've never been at a Seder when it was just one other person. The high point for me is I'm only cooking for 2 people. My husband is not fussy one bit about what he eats. So I am making chicken and potatoes, no other side dishes. We are in New Jersey. All my beautiful Passover plates and everything else are in Brooklyn. No one could find them because they're in a hidden closet, and I'm not trying to help them find them. We're using very nice plastic plates, and I'm thrilled about that. So that's the positive in the part that I will very much be missing my family and a fuller Seder. So I don't know how many of you saw, there was moving on to techniques, Natan Sharansky, who was a Soviet dissident, and he was in the Russian Gulag for 9 years. And he spoke about what was important for him to survive when he was in isolation. And he said, focusing on what we can control, not what we cannot control. And so just to review, the things we can control are our routines, right? We need to have routines. That makes us feel secure, having a routine. So I don't think we should sleep to whatever time you want in the morning. I think that we should have a wake-up time, and you should have your routine: shower, pray, eat breakfast. We should put on clothes and not just wear pajamas every day. Create a routine, because routine is what helps us very much with anxiety. The exercise routine, a routine of laughter, playing games with family members, not just with children. By the way, another great gift of Corona: I'm married, going on 43 years, thank God. I played my first game with my husband, who played Rummy Cub twice, and he likes it. So, and it's my favorite game because I used to play it with my father. Okay. Even though we're in quarantine, not all of us, some of the youngins are not in quarantine and do go out doing acts of kindness. We pulled up to our house in Lock Arbor, and at the same time as my beautiful across the street neighbor, Julian Dweck, a shout out to Julian Dweck. And the first thing she said is, send me your list. Whenever I go to the store, I'll shop for you. And she's been shopping for me since I've gotten here. God bless her. So, and believe it or not, I have a very not nice, I really shouldn't even say this, but I have a very not nice local neighbor she does very mean things. She calls the police when a painter's in your house on a Sunday, not bothering her. She's done lots of things over the years. And I took a deep breath, but she's elderly and so is her husband. And I took a deep breath and said to her, I have a house full of food. And is there anything that you need? Not because I'm great, just because we all need to help each other during this time. Okay. So acts of kindness not only do good for the people next door, but do good for us. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to teach you a breath work, because breathing is very important during this time. And I'd also like to teach you a mantra. So we'll start with the breathing technique. So all of you find yourself in a very comfortable location, seating position, preferably seating. And allow your feet to ground you to the floor. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to feel the bottom of yourself on the bottom of your chair, your back on the back of your chair. I'd like you to orient yourself to the room so you know where you are in the room, and either look up at the ceiling or close your eyes while we're doing the breathing. So begin by taking a breath in and a breath out. And then inhale to the count of 3. Hold on to your breath to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly let go to the count of 6. 5, 4, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly let go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. In. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly let go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Anyone want to write in the chat how that felt? Nope. Margaret Dweck wrote calming. A bunch of Sandy Azizo, great. Very soothing, said Nadine. Okay, from Patty, good. So if you're in very good physical shape, you could try doing 4, 8, 8. Breathing into the count of 4, holding to the count of 8, slowly letting go to the count of 8. And if you're in amazing, amazing shape, you could do it 5, 10, 10. This is old yoga. It's called a tranquilizing breath, and it is extremely calming. The trick to this breath is to use it when you're not anxious. So you wake up in the morning before you get out of bed, or maybe before you pray, you do this breathing for a couple of rounds. Before you go to bed at night, you do this breathing for a couple of rounds. So that if you find yourself in that loop, in that moment of panic, you can immediately go to the breath because you know it. And you don't have to, you don't get lost in it. You know how to do it because you've been practicing it. So the next thing that I'd like to do with you is I'd like to teach you a mantra. And what we're going to do, by the way, is I'm going to write a list of these techniques and the mantra and the breathing, and I will send it to Sari or to Lisa, and hopefully they will post it on Instagram or however else they contact you, so you can have these and have them in your toolbox. Okay, so continuing to sit grounded. So I was mentioning to someone today that I never understood the children's book, Goodnight Moon. Children love that book, Goodnight Moon, and I always found it so boring. And I'm a big children's book lover, and and that's something, by the way, you guys can do also when you're connecting to your grandchildren, is read them books, because your kids need your help keeping your children busy as soon as school is over. So Goodnight Moon was a book that I never understood until recently. And I became aware of the fact that Goodnight Moon grounds us. It points out where we are in our room. You know, it says, Goodnight Moon, Goodnight Mittens, Goodnight Kittens, the picture on the wall. And that's what I'm asking you to do right now. I'm asking you to be mindful, and that's a big word now, and this is part of mindfulness, what we're doing, to be mindful of where you are in the present moment, which is another technique to help you gain coping skills during this anxious time. So being mindful of your surroundings, feeling your feet ground you on the floor, feeling your bottom ground you on the chair, the back of your back against the back of the chair. And then if you want, either look at the ceiling or close your eyes and follow what I'm saying, and you will get these words. And when you get them, it's a good thing to do is to say them out loud so your brain can hear them. You can always say it in your mind's eye, but when your brain hears you talking out loud, it registers more strongly. So, calm, comfortable, confident, safe, secure, positive, patient, happy, healthy, whole, held in the hands of Hashem. Calm, comfortable, confident, safe, secure, positive, patient, happy, healthy, whole, held in the hands of Hashem. Calm, comfortable, confident, safe, secure, positive, patient, happy, healthy, held in the hands of Hashem. So that's the mantra. I wanted to remind you, is everybody still with me? Because you look frozen. No? Okay, good.
We're here.
Okay, good. I wanted to remind you that you are all role models to yourself and to your children and to your spouses, and that we want to look back at this time as a time that we did our best. Now, we're all going to lose it because we are human and we have to accept our humanness, pick up, and move on from there. But we have to try to do our best and remember that we are role models. So when I was preparing this, I was thinking of my role models, now I'm gonna get emotional, which are my parents, who probably lived through one of the most difficult times of history, the Holocaust. And they were amazing role models to me because having survived Auschwitz, they taught me I used to ask my dad, how did you go on? Like, what were you thinking? Separated from his parents at age 18. We may be separated in our homes, but we know where our families are. They saw the chimney and knew that that's where their parents were at age 18. So how did you go on, Dad? And I remember asking him that question when I was 12. And I remember his answer then and as we continued to dialogue about this. And what he said was, I always believed there would be better. I always had hope, emunah, and faith in Hashem. My father was not he was a modern Orthodox man, but he believed that there was going to be good. He believed with all his heart in Hashem, and he had hope that things would be better. And that's what kept him going. So what I wanted to do with you, and let's see if this could work, I have something on the screen. Oh, do you see that? No, let's try to share. 1 second, here we go. It's gonna work. Got that? Okay, so I put up Mizmor of Tehillim. Patty, can you see it? Because you're the only one I could see now. Okay, so I put a Mizmor of Tehillim up, and I wanted to read Dalid, and you will see line Dalid or line 4. It says, Gam ki elech b'geit samavet, lo yirara ki ata imadi, shiftecha u'mishantecha, hema yinachamuni. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I think that prayer during this time, I think that saying Tehillim, I think that we can find that our best prayer comes from the depths of our heart when we're struggling. In light of the fact that I just shared with you, my parents who were survivors, right before I went on, I got a Instagram from Jewish, it's Marlene Mamie's. I want to give credit, but I can't think of the site, Jewish something. And it was a picture of, it was the woman who wrote The Choice. And she was saying that she's sorry that everyone can't do what they normally do during this time, but that she's 92 years old, she feels better than ever, and she hopes that all of us could look at everything as an opportunity. So our choice is to look at things as opportunity. Our choice is to have hope and to be positive role models. We now have a bunch of techniques, and hope we meet again on Monday. And unless somebody wants to share something now, I'll try and look in the chats. Anybody want to share anything now?
Does anyone have any questions for Vicky?
See, just take them for a walk. Don't take you out this way. Just let them get fresh air. Sit on the porch with them 5 minutes. They
Questions? Oh, Jewish hostess was what the Instagram was, so thank you.
Let them sit outside, feel fresh air.
Julie, you wrote, how do you keep what?
I didn't write anything.
Oh,
Did I?
Julie Dweck. How do you keep, she started to write a question.
If anyone has any questions, they can unmute and ask Vicky something.
So Jane Schwecker,
Hi.
how do we handle just being sad about not spending the holidays with our children and grandchildren? So I think we have to allow ourselves to feel the grief, not being able to spend the holiday with our children and grandchildren, but we also have to keep perspective and know that God willing, next year, we will be spending it with our children and grandchildren. So it's not final, and we're doing it to be safe, and we have to maintain perspective. So we're allowed to feel sad, but then you could do what I do, which is feel good that I don't have to cook so much. I don't know, maybe that doesn't make you happy, but it makes me happy, that I have less concern about that.
Vicky, take off the Tehillim page so that we can all see you. And you can see everyone.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think that maybe we didn't mention it as something separate, but having perspective is very important during this time. I hope we meet back up next week, Monday. And
Hey, I have a question.
yes.
This is, I'm like the youngest here, but it's fine. But this is the first Passover I'm having with my husband, and I just got married in June. It might be my first Pesach with him only. So like, how can we handle that, like with the Seder and?
So you only need 2 people for a Seder, and you're getting a head start in learning how to prepare everything. And you can call your mom and find out what you need to do. But I was in one of my husband's classes, and he said that sometimes, what he said was that sometimes when we're at Seders with 40 and 50 and 60 and 30 people, we don't really have a chance to really ask questions and read through the Haggadah slowly. And this is an opportunity where we could connect over that in a way that we can't when we are with all our cousins, aunts, uncles. So that's the best I could tell you, Linda.
Thank you. You're amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Is this class going to be saved? Because it was excellent. I want other people to hear it.
Was it recorded?
It was
Yeah.
so in the
We
middle.
missed the beginning. We actually started recording in the middle because I actually wanted to find out from you, Vicky, if it was okay if we released it to anyone when we forgot to ask you before.
Oh, there you go. Only half of it.
Yeah.
So we'll record Mondays. Do it again.
Okay.
But you can repeat it, and also I hope to, it's not the same when you write it, but hopefully the techniques will be written out so that you can all have them, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Before everybody leaves, I just want to take a minute to just thank Vicky Harari for her time. And it's just so appreciated. Thank you so much.
Sure,
Can I ask a
but
question?
I just want to really say that this is a time when we need to really appreciate our community and all our community organizations, our school, our yeshivas, our center, our Bikur Cholim, our cancer center. We really have to have Hakarat HaTov, and all the people who are on this this Zoom class for joining together, because really this connection feeds us and helps us feel good and get through these difficult times. And that's probably why it is so hard for us, because we're a community that's so used to being together all the time that it's hard to be so apart. But what we do know is that we're going to appreciate each other all that much more when we can once again regain our independence and move outside of our homes.
Freedom.
Wait, Vicky?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
Hello? I have a
Thank you.
question.
Bye-bye.
Vicky, I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Vicky?
Who has a question?
I do. I have a question.
Thank
Hi, Julie.
Hi,
It's
Vicky.
Vivian. Hi, Julie.
Am I still on?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
What if the husband and the wife are not so knowledgeable as to how to do a Seder?
Okay.
How does that work? Are you supposed to do the best you can?
Yes, of course, you always do the best you can. So 1 second. Try and go online and see if you could get an English Hebrew Haggadah. We have, the holiday is, when is it? Next week, Wednesday. Today's Monday. So we have about 9 days and not so much to do. So you can read about it.
Yeah.
And really, if you get an English Hebrew Haggadah,
I have.
okay, if you read through it, it tells you everything you need to do.
Okay.
You
All
don't
right.
Rabbi
worry. It's
Rabbi Farhi from South Rushville gave a great class. He did it on live Instagram last night. You could go watch it now.
Okay.
It was so informative and so much information. I thought it was very good.
okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you,
Terry.
Terry. Okay.
Vicky, how
Thank
do you
you.
stay positive about possibly doing a Seder alone?
So I think that it's sad, and I think it's okay for you to feel sad. But one of the things we spoke about is having perspective. So the perspective is you have food to make a Seder, you have a Haggadah, you have a warm house, and next year you won't be alone. So it's not wonderful.
And our parents, and also our parents.
Yes. But we can make the Seder. That's how we stay positive about it. We can make it. There have been people over the years who would have loved to make a Seder, but they couldn't make one. There was no matzah. There was no food. They were persecuted and they were fearing for their lives. We're saying, how do we do it if we're alone? So again, it takes us to perspective, okay? Okay, guys, I'm gonna sign off, okay?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's so
Thank you.
helpful.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Vicky. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.